working on breakfast items. And this is Tim Beckett. And Tim, tell us about yourself.
Okay, Paulette, I'm a contractor. Been in construction my whole life.
Okay.
Always out there on the job, working hard.
Okay.
So I need good nutrition, keep my body going.
That's right. That's right. So you're going to make us some waffles and some scrambled tofu.
Oh yeah.
Show us how it works.
Good big breakfast, yeah. Okay, guys. So this is a very simple recipe. This is something even a kid could do once you teach them how to do it. It's just going to take 3 simple ingredients: some cashews, some water, and some rolled oats. So I'm going to do the dry things first, just so that we don't get the cup all wet and have oats sticking to it. I need 1/3 cup of raw cashews, not roasted, salted cashews, but raw, for the health benefits of that. And then I'm going to use 1.5 cups of rolled oats. Just about right there. And 2 cups of water. It's as simple as that, and we're gonna mix that up good. Get all the ingredients mixed. Put it here into the blender. And blend that till it's smooth and to a batter-like consistency. There's something for our blooper reel. All right. Turn on the blender. Let's look into that real quick. Oh, that looks real nice. I think we'll go with that, Paulette.
Nice and smooth.
Go ahead, it's nice and smooth. The waffle iron is hot. Go ahead and pour that batter out.
Put more on.
A little more.
Right in the center. There you go. There you go.
All right. She's all set.
So that, we said about 10 to 12 minutes on this one?
10 to 12 minutes, depending on the heat of your waffle iron, but you'll get the hang of that after the first batch or so.
We'll give it 10, we'll check it in 10 and see what we got.
All righty.
All right, now we're going to do some scrambled tofu.
Yes, yes. One of my favorite breakfast items, and this is something you can easily do for breakfast, brunch, lunch, or even dinner. And you might want to change up the ingredients a little bit based on which of those meals you're going to do. In fact, you can even put bell peppers, onions, mushrooms, asparagus goes awesome with this. You can put some tomato wedges on the side to make this a real beautiful dish for any meal of the day. So we're going to start out with a block of tofu that's draining in the sink.
All right.
And you want to drain that and rinse it, and put that right in the skillet. And I can get that skillet turned on here. About to a medium heat. And then there's a list of ingredients that are going to be on the website, but we're talking about a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 to 1/8 of turmeric, 1/2 tablespoon of dried parsley flakes, a 1/2 tablespoon of Bragg's all-purpose seasoning, which we have right here, and 1 to 3 teaspoons of chicken-like seasoning, or whatever brand you guys like, and then a half a tablespoon of nutritional yeast flakes. And a friend of mine had the brilliant idea of having this ready to go anytime we want tofu scramble. So it's already mixed together. So I'm going to use about 3 tablespoons of this seasoning. It's all the dry ingredients. First, I'm gonna mash this tofu up a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably better use a fork on that. If we have a fork right
go.
handy there, we'll just smash that up a little. You want it to be a kind of the consistency of scrambled eggs. So get it as coarse or smooth as you like for that to be. And then we're going to begin to add those ingredients in on top of that.
So I would ask, how often do you make this?
This is something probably I'd do maybe once a month.
Okay.
So I tend to eat, oatmeal for cereal for breakfast
Right.
a lot of the time because it's quick and easy. But when we're doing something really nice, this is a great recipe because it looks good and it's real hearty, and it'll hold you over till late afternoon or even supper if you eat a late breakfast.
That's right. And so this is a real time-saving way to do your seasonings. I think
Absolutely.
they've seen me do
Yep.
this with my chilies.
Yep.
So if you have a container for different ones, it's an awesome way to save time.
People tend to be concerned about their cooking their recipes because we're so used to convenience and things prepared from the store. And if you start cooking your own meals, they're concerned about time. And this is a great way to save that time back. And it's not such a big burden to cook your own meals.
That's right. So how did you get involved with whole food, plant-based lifestyle?
Oh, good question. I'd say, probably nearly 40 years ago, when I started having a couple kids, a little more concerned about our lifestyles, and part of a spiritual journey on my part, I decided to stop eating what the Bible would call unclean meats, and then gravitated from there to full-on vegetarian. And as a lacto-ovo vegetarian, still continued to use some dairy products and eggs. But once we saw the data on going from vegetarian to vegan and how much better that is for longevity and good health, we decided to cut out eggs and dairy. So this is a great recipe that I got actually from the earlier chip cookbook called the Optimal Diet Cookbook. Mm-hmm. And we just love this recipe so much. And the one thing I really love about it is for people who aren't vegetarians, who really aren't familiar with tofu, this is more delicious than scrambled eggs because you're adding flavors to it you wouldn't normally put in your scrambled eggs.
That's right.
And so it's a really great recipe. And it can be really beautiful, as I said before, if you want to mix some other vegetables in there. It really looks pretty with some asparagus tips in there.
That would be awesome.
It really is, yeah.
So you have been involved in the CHIP program. How did you kind of start doing that?
Well, it's really interesting. I thought I was doing pretty good, but one night my wife and I were standing in front of the vanity mirrors, and with a little bit of a gut on me, I was joking around that, hey, this is all paid for, Didn't know anything on that. And she looked at me and said, "You look like you're 6 months pregnant." Well, about 2 weeks later, she called me, and she had come to a CHIP info session.
Okay.
She watched the video and was appalled by what doctors are seeing, and she said, we got to take this course. So we took the course. In 4 weeks, all of our blood work came down into normal ranges. We had such great success with it. In 8 months' time, I lost 30 pounds without really trying.
That's awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
We had such great results. So just so happens that year, the CHIP director at our church was leaving town for another job, and they needed a new CHIP director. And I was so passionate about it, I said, we have to keep this going. And so I stepped up to lead that out. So I led the program for about 6 years.
Yep.
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 So it was a real great experience for us.
I'm glad you talked about the difference from when you first started that first. It makes you can see a difference in just a matter of a few weeks.
You really can. I mean, I was shocked by the change in the numbers because I was borderline high on everything. I wasn't like, didn't have horrible numbers. A lot of doctors might have said, yeah, you're okay. But it was right there tipping the, going over the line, and I didn't want to be there.
Yeah, because of your job, you were more active, so that physical activity helped that a
That
little
helps
bit.
a lot.
Yep.
It helps a lot. Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, what we noticed when, while we were teaching the CHIP course is that it really takes both a good diet and the exercise.
That's
and
right.
the cardio is real important to your good health. People that do one or the other don't do nearly as well as the people who do both.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so what else are you going to add to this?
Well, this is it. I kept it simple for today, but as I said, if you wanted to use some mushrooms, some onions, some bell pepper, those kind of things, you can saute those in the skillet a little ahead of time.
Yep.
Before you put the tofu in, and then it all mixes in.
Do you add the brags now?
I can add the brags. Yeah, I
Do you
actually
normally?
have forgotten that. I do.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I just want about, let's see, what's it called for there? And you can change it up a little bit, a half a tablespoon. So let's go about right there. And that gives it a little saltiness, without going overboard, and just a little extra flavor. Like I said, you can adjust the ingredients as you like them. But the turmeric in there is real dark yellow, so it gives it that scrambled egg kind of a look.
Yep.
And it's also anti-inflammatory. That's a great ingredient. And then the other ingredients just add really good flavor.
All right, I'm going to take a
There we
taste
go.
of this.
Yeah, please do.
Grab a spoon over there, and you can
Alrighty.
grab a taste.
Yeah.
Been next to the fire, as my father would say. That's awesome. I love my scrambled tofu with a little salsa on it. But
Yeah, if you're a person that likes ketchup on your eggs,
yeah, this would be it.
a little salsa with that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really delicious.
We're at 9 minutes. Let's take a look here and see what we've got.
Yeah, you gotta open that kind of slowly. Make sure you don't tear your waffles. When that batter is really
Okay,
ready,
it's coming
you'll-
nice, but we haven't got that browning on it yet.
you want
so
them,
we're
you want
getting
them
there.
brown with a little crispiness. And I also wanted to keep this one simple today. We just had the 3 ingredients, but you can top that with some all fruit. Like
Yes.
it comes like jelly. You could put a little of that on there. You could put peanut butter or almond butter on those.
Yes.
You can drizzle a little honey on that. You can use any kind of fruit spread, or if you want to make a little fruit topping to put on those. Just absolutely delicious.
The other thing you could add to the batter is some cinnamon and some vanilla if you
Yeah.
want those different flavors to it.
In fact, the recipe that I used is from the newer of the chip cookbooks, and it actually calls for if you'd like to add a little bit of sugar and some vanilla flavoring. But the cinnamon sounds like a really great idea
Yep.
too. Yeah,
Yep.
that'd make a real special treat. Especially kids love that kind of stuff.
Yes. Yep.
But I'm still a kid at heart.
We all are. That's right. All right. So we've got 10 minutes on it, and typically, when I've made with this waffle iron, I think it's not as brown as we might normally get, but I think.
Look like they firmed up real nicely.
Yep. See how nice it came?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. There they are.
Yeah.
All right. Tim, thanks so much. Appreciate you.
It was my pleasure.
Have a
My
great
pleasure.
one.
Thank you.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
So tell me about yourself. What's your favorite things to do?
Some of my favorite things to do are definitely cooking and baking. I like reading. I like history, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. You're still in school.
Yes, I am going into junior year, so right now I'm a sophomore.
All right. You're finishing that one up. You're getting close to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
All right. I know you've been kind of plant-based for a little while.
Yeah.
And so this recipe, how often do you make it?
Oh, probably like, It definitely varies, but I'm going to say like monthly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I love it. It's really good.
So what do you call this?
This is peanut butter overnight oats.
All right, share it with us. Share
All
how you
right.
make it.
So it's really simple. You just got to mix everything together. We have half a cup of non-dairy milk, half a cup of oats, some agave, or you can also use like maple syrup. Let me get it all out. Okay. We have some nut butter. You can use any kind of nut butter that you like. Doesn't really matter.
So what kind of nut butter is this?
This one, so what I do is I literally just take any nuts that we have in the pantry and I put them in the food processor. They have to be roasted, and that's about it. Like, it can be salted, it can be sweetened if you want it. There can be oil or no oil. It doesn't really matter. But you just put it in the food processor and you just let it go for like 5 minutes. And then it turns into nut butter. So you can use any nuts.
And you just added chia.
Yes, I added chia too, because I like those. So this is just almonds and cashews, I think.
Okay, for your nut butter.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice, okay.
So, all right, so let's just mix it all together.
Do you ever add any fruit or anything else to it?
When I get it out in the morning, I'll put like bananas or strawberries or whatever.
Whatever's handy.
Whatever's handy. You can put granola. You can literally put chocolate chips because it's peanut butter, so whatever you like. You can put granola, like anything. So then you're just going to put it in a container. I like using mason jars because I think they look kind of cool. But you can use whatever. So I'm just going to try to get this all in. And you just put it in the fridge overnight, and you eat it in the morning.
Okay.
You can eat it hot or cold, whatever you want.
So I know you've done a lot of baking.
Yes.
Because you enjoy baking. So what's your favorite thing to bake?
My favorite thing to bake is probably muffins. I like
Okay.
muffins.
Any particular kind of muffin?
Everything, all of them.
All right.
Yeah.
And where do you go to find your recipes?
There's this one food blog that I go to a lot. It's called Minimalist Baker. She has like a wide variety of different things, and I like the blog because she has a lot of like creative things that I never would have known existed. So we'll go to her a lot. I'm subscribed, so I get all the emails. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the most recent new thing that you've made from her blog?
Honestly, it's been a really long time because it's the end of the school year, so I'm like way busy. I really don't remember.
Okay. You've been just busy with school.
Yes, ma'am.
And once school's out, then you'll be checking that blog out.
Yes.
And then maybe we'll get you to bake something next time.
Yeah.
All right. So this is overnight oats.
Yes, this is it.
All
Very,
right.
very fast and easy.
Do you make more than one of these at a time?
Yeah, sometimes I'll double it. This is supposed to be one serving, but obviously it's really not that much. You can double it and it'll like fill the jar. So that might be better.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome.
So Denitza, this is a grain that we don't use very often. It's amaranth. And so what's the name of your recipe?
Well, it's a Mexican-inspired amaranth. I saw this recipe on makingthymeforhealth.com, and I adjusted it according to the tastes of our family. But yes, you're right, amaranth has not been used much, but it's a grain that is very high on protein, very high on iron, manganese, magnesium. It's a wonderful superfood, super grain. So I think everybody can benefit from trying a new recipe. So this is the amaranth. I just rinsed it. If you would like to, you can soak it overnight or for 4 hours or more, and then you can lessen the amount of water. If you soak it first, you have to lessen the amount of water in the recipe. So we have about a cup of amaranth. We have an onion, yellow onion, and 3 garlic cloves minced. We have 2 roasted peppers. If you don't like roasted peppers, you can go for fresh peppers. We'll be using lemon at the end, avocado, and the cilantro for garnish. And the recipe originally calls for black beans, but we like it more with garbanzo beans. So you can use either. And The spices are paprika, a little bit of cayenne pepper, just about to say, and then we have salt and cumin. If you like more spices, you can use some of the cumin. You can probably double the amount of cumin. You can also, instead of paprika, you can have a teaspoon of chili powder. And then we have a little bit of water just for the sauteing. So we'll start the burner. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I like using Dutch oven, but you can use whatever pan you would like. It takes a while to heat up, but once it does, it cooks very evenly because it heats very evenly. Okay. So I'll just add the onion.
So while you're
gonna hurt
waiting
it.
on the onions, your family has been plant-based for a while. What led you to a plant-based lifestyle?
Well, many things coming together. My husband was open to the idea. He was the first one actually open to the idea, and I was objecting it. But then when my son was about 2 years old, he started being sensitive towards eggs, so he cut the eggs first. And then a few years later, we watched the movie Fork Over Knives. And for me, that was it. I was done. So we tried to substitute the dairy milk with almond milk. That's the one that we liked most. And then from there on, it was just trying new foods. And at first, it was substituting real recipes, recipes that I used to make with plant-based ingredients. But after a while, you just realize that there is so much more variety in the plant-based diet that I completely forgot about my original recipes and started experimenting with new things. So it's been really a wonderful transition for us. We've been vegan for about 9 years now. Yes.
So I think one of the key things I heard you say is that you've taken some of your traditional recipes and made them plant-based.
Yes, that was our first approach. But I have to tell you that if you are trying to pretend something is a meat when it's not meat, or something is cheese when it's not cheese, you'll be disappointed. But if you welcome the new style, the new lifestyle, you'll find out there is so much more variety, so much more herbs that you can use, so much more fresh things you can put in. And so, now if I have, actually, even at the beginning, we just had been on the plant-based diet for a few months, and to try drinking real milk, and we just put it aside. Even our kids did not like it anymore. So
Your taste buds.
welcome. Our taste buds have changed. Just welcome the new change and add variety. We did not always like every recipe that we tried, but you just have to try enough, and you'll find out the ones that you like. And as I said, you can substitute things. If you don't like roasted peppers, you can use fresh peppers. If you don't like cilantro, you may use parsley. You just find your taste in whatever you're making, and you're going to be a success.
Now, if I understand right, you guys eat this for breakfast.
We do. We do believe that breakfast should be the best meal, and since we can afford to have a little later breakfast in the day, I don't mind spending time in the kitchen and preparing the breakfast. So we do this with cornbread in the morning, and that makes us really quite full for me.
Holds you over for a while. Yep.
Yeah, you can eat it for lunch. You can have some salad with it. I don't think I mentioned that the protein in amaranth is the amaranth contains all amino acids, so in a way it's a complete protein. You don't really need to add much except some veggies to have a full meal.
Yeah, amaranth is one of those old grains that is more complete than some of the newer grains.
Yes. You can find lots of recipes using amaranth for puddings. We tried those and they did not click with us. But if you like puddings, maybe you can find some recipes for puddings.
Okay.
It's a great grain to experiment with.
So tell us a little bit about your background, what you do for a career, and you don't spend all your time in the kitchen, I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't. I am a full-time mom of 2 wonderful children, and I am part-time music teacher. I have a degree in piano performance, and I teach in a music school. So yeah, that's on the side though. I think my real job is being a mom and being a good wife. And I read years ago that the wife and the mom, our primary job should be to provide the nutrition our family needs. Because the way we set up our health when we're young and our taste buds when we're young, that will determine a lot of the problems or lack of problems that we're going to have later in life. So I look at that as my most important, even though underpaid job.
All right.
Yeah. So I added the peppers and the paprika and salt, and this is almost ready. We'll add the water next. We have 3 cups of water. Now I'll put a little bit less than 3 cups, and we'll add as needed. That's probably about 2.5, I would say. And then the amaranth will go next. Maybe we can lower it to simmer.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay, I'll add the amaranth next, and I'll give it a good stir, and then I'll just leave it. It does take about half an hour or so for the amaranth to cook. I'm yet to experiment to put it in a slow cooker overnight and maybe wake up to the ready meal, but I have not done that. So it takes a while for the amaranth to cook, and I guess you don't have to sit and watch all these 30 minutes. We'll resume after the amaranth is almost done. So give it a good stir, and you leave it. You can go and set up your table, and then come in about half an hour, and it's going to be almost ready. When the amaranth is almost cooked, we'll add the chickpeas, the cilantro, the lemon juice, and the avocado for garnish.
Okay, we'll be back in a little bit when it's all cooked up.
We are ready with the amaranth to finish it up. It's almost done. You can see that the liquid is almost gone. And as you turn it off, and as it cools, it's going to absorb the rest of the liquid, as all grains actually do. So just at this point, I put my garbanzo beans or black beans if you like black beans more. Give it a good stir. Put about a cup of cilantro. If you do not like cilantro, as I mentioned before, you can put parsley. It adds a nice color. And then one last thing is the juice of 1 lemon. If you're like me, you may want to put 2 lemons, but not everybody likes that much. So this is the juice of 1 lemon. Give it a good stir, and you can serve it on the plate. As I mentioned, we eat it with cornbread in the morning, but you can enjoy it with salad. This is just about done. I'll just put it in the plate. And you may have avocado on the side, or if you'd like to, you can chop the avocado and put it in. And enjoy.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Colors of the rainbow. We're eating the colors, and again, another new grain. We wanted to introduce everybody to Amaranth. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I hope you enjoyed.
Rona, tell me about yourself. So I know that you just graduated with your degree in dietetics, and so you've been whole food plant-based for a little while?
Well, actually, I was raised vegan.
Okay.
But when I left the house, I liked milk, so I started drinking milk. And then I got married, and I used milk and eggs and cheese. And then after a while, I thought, I really need to do what Ellen White teaches instead of saying I believe and not doing it.
Okay.
So
you
I started.
You went back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel a difference when you went back to it?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
The
all right.
biggest thing that I felt a difference was I went home to see my parents, and they had gone to a 2 meal a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I, for a whole week,
Mm-hmm.
I ate only 2 meals a day. And afterwards I thought, wow, man, I feel so much better. So when I got home, I went to a 2 meal a day.
Okay.
And then I started laying off things like eggs and milk, and
Back into the.
slowly making my way back to whole foods, plant-based.
Okay. Good. So what's the recipe you're providing for us today?
Well, it is a fruit salad. I don't know what to call it. It's just pineapple, kiwi, banana.
It's Rona's fruit salad, and you make
Well,
it.
let's name it my mom's fruit salad.
All right, Mom's fruit salad. All right. Share with us what's in it.
Okay, I have 1 can of pineapple, and this morning I cut up a half a cup of dates and soaked it. It's good to do it the night before, and then when in the morning when you want to make your salad, the dates are soft.
So you soaked it in the pineapple juice.
In the pineapple juice, in the pineapples. So I'm going to put this in here. So half a cup of dates and 1 can of pineapple. And I like the tidbits. I guess you could use crushed or chunks. And then I have 4 kiwis I peeled and quartered. I'm going to put this in. And then we have 2 bananas, which I will slice up, quarter and slice up.
So you finished your, and graduated. Now you're studying for your test.
Yes.
And so what's your passion? What would you like to do with this degree that you now have?
I would like to teach others to eat healthfully.
Okay.
And I guess my biggest passion is a lifestyle center.
Being a part of a lifestyle center.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So in a day, in a week, what are some of the things that you cook and eat? Would you have this then for breakfast?
Yes, I'd have this for breakfast, but it's also really good for dessert.
Oh, nice.
I've served it as a dessert at potluck sometimes. So.
Okay. All right. And what else would you serve with it for breakfast?
Well, I like to put it with my cereal, my cooked cereal. I like fruit in my cereal, so.
And your cooked cereal, is that oatmeal or a different kind of grain?
My favorite is steel cut oats.
Steel cut oats, okay.
I like oatmeal, but steel cuts is my favorite.
Steel cut oats has a little more texture and a little more nutrition to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Next one is 7-grain cereal, but you can get cracked, and that's really good too.
7-grain cereal, okay, yes. Yep. All right. So you just graduated, just not even a week ago.
Well,
So what's filling your days now that school is kind of behind you?
Studying for the boards
Studying.
or national exam.
National exam,
Yeah.
okay. So, did you learn a lot in school about a whole food plant-based lifestyle?
No, not really.
Okay. But that is your focus at this point?
Yes,
Yep.
that's my focus.
Yep. Okay.
I'm not doing this the way I was going to do it on the board, but
Either way is fine. Okay.
now I have a third of a cup of chopped nuts. And if you're going to store this overnight, wait to put your nuts in until you want to serve it because the nuts will get soggy.
It looked like they're walnuts.
Yes,
Is that what you normally use or just whatever you have?
walnuts is normally what I use.
Okay. All right. What else would you like to tell us about this fruit salad?
It's delicious.
All right.
Try it.
All right. It looks wonderful. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.